And that's I go Charlton Heston, because they were both done about the same time. It was from the Pierre Boulez story, some French writer, and then the guy from Twilight Zone wrote the script, Rod Serling, and then they created this fucking awesome movie, Planet of the Apes, that's still bitching to this day. All of the Apes movies, I fucking fell in love with. And watching it go in a circle, it's so fucking crazy. Yeah. Because you start at one and then it all ends up back at the beginning. You're like, how does this happen? Dang, Ricardo Montalban again? Time goes in a circle. No way.
Whoa. Welcome to Fantasy Island.
What's that?
Yeah. Said, welcome to Fantasy Island.
So, I mean, if you haven't seen Planet of the Apes, I don't know who hasn't. Even the new ones are fucking badass.
I would, I actually had, while we're talking about that, one of my honorable mentions is the new Dawn.
Yes. Was a fucking great
because that
movie
is
too.
Post-apocalyptic at that point.
Yeah.
And those three movies, I could watch any of them anytime they're on. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah, they're really good. Andy Serkis fucking kills it in those movies.
Absolutely.
He's fucking he definitely did deserve an Oscar for that performance.
Agreed.
At one point. He should.
Weta Workshops doesn't put out bad stuff.
No. Fuck
they
no.
they only work on amazing.
Yeah. It's just a fucking badass movie. But they did the same thing with the original ones too, because they created makeup effects that nobody else was doing.
Absolutely.
And and Roddy McDowall brought that to life. So Roddy McDowall at that point he's like the Andy Serkis of the time. You know
100%.
what I mean? Just in costume. So, and it was really cool that he was in everything except for part 2. Roddy McDowall, actually, there was a replacement actor in part 2 for some reason. Know that. Yeah, it was weird. Only in the back, the flashback shots or some shit like that. But my other number 4. Now, this is a movie that's fucking confusing as shit until you really get into it. 12 Monkeys.
Oh.
Yeah, actually doing my research, it was funny because
it showed up everywhere.
And I didn't think of it until after, until I was like, oh, that is a post-apocalyptic movie.
Yes.
Even though most of it takes place beforehand.
Yeah, because he goes back in time. He keeps going back in time, but he's coming from his time because it starts off with him collecting the specimens from outside.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. And then Willis goes back, and then he meets What's-Her-Nuts, and she's like, it's an advertisement.
Yes.
So wouldn't that almost justify the Terminator being a post-apocalyptic?
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of why they kind of lump it in that category.
Got
like
you.
the original Terminator, they lump it in that, but no.
I mean, see, I offended you, sir. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just kidding.
No.
Brock's putting his foot down.
Give
this
me your
podcast. No, Brock. No, Brock. What are you doing with that knife?
No, Daddy, no. 12 Monkeys is badass. So.
It is a great movie. It is a great movie.
I'm going to digress back into 12 Monkeys.
Smart.
No, Brad Pitt was the shit in that movie. He was badass. Fucking everybody. I still use the term mentally divergent.
I like that.
That is awesome. Because the guy's like, are you mentally divergent?
Oh, and that's played by, what's that guy's name?
The guy that did Warwick Davis, the guy that played Willow.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I was like, that's not who I thought it was.
Yes, I don't remember that part at all. You guys are making up a movie over here.
That was Leprechaun.
Well, I digress.
Leprechaun. Leprechaun 5.
Like, I don't really remember that movie that well. And I saw it when I was really young.
You need to watch it again, though.
You saw it when he was really young.
He already is really
what he meant
young.
by... Never mind.
You know what? I'm an adult, all right?
Jeez, guys, leave me alone.
I'm going to stay in my corner over here.
12 Monkeys was the shit. It really was.
It was a good movie, for sure.
Good fucking movie. All right, Jasmine.
Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind.
So this was a Studio Ghibli?
Yes. Yeah,
Hey,
sure
look at
is.
you.
Have you seen this one?
No.
Have you seen Mononoke?
Yes, a long time ago, but I don't
Princess
remember.
Mononoke for the
Yes.
listeners.
Yes.
Pardon me. Yes, Princess Mononoke. So Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, which is the full name of it, is very much that style where there is this, princess type person who's just trying to care for nature. So in this one, it's not necessarily like the typical, not like an alien, not zombie, not
Nothing
a
came
being.
down and nuked something.
But there is also, at the very end, these crazy-ass giant, bugs that are kind of, scattering across the top of the world. So a lot of this movie, there's a lot of greenery to it, but there's this huge ass desert. And there's spores underneath it from these trees that are essentially just annihilating the planet at this point.
So it's an actual like force of nature that's destroying everything.
Now,
it's really cool.
I didn't get a chance to actually watch this yet. So would you be able to give like a plot of just a roundabout of the idea of the movie? Like how it plays out?
So you follow, in the very beginning, you're following her going into the desert, into the what you would call maybe a wasteland. And she's going below into the place where all the spores are, where you don't want to transfer that stuff to any of the living trees because it will just take over everything and just turn it into a sandbox. So she's out there collecting something. She has this gas mask like on while she's going through there. And she's just kind of lying in this waste, just kind of chilling. And then she hops back on her. She has these like gliding wings so she can fly, which is super cool.
That is
but
really cool.
it seems correct. Like it doesn't seem crazy. It seems more like Kiki's Delivery Service. It's like, oh yes, she's a witch. She flies.
So it's already it's an already established thing in that world.
Nice.
Like it's very post-apocalyptic, but just not the normal post-apocalyptic scenario that you put.
Cyberpunk.
She has this whole like colony in this tiny little wooded area on the green side of it. And you go past this huge warship that's just washed up, you know, in between the Greenland and the waste. And it's really crazy to see that because the society is so, you know, on the base of things in this movie, which I think is really cool.
Well, that's usually like the re-foundation of building a civilization, you know, that
Yeah.
But essentially some Outlanders come in and they bring the spores with them, and it's just how it plays out from there because there is more to it. That's not like the end of it.
That'd be a weird movie. Yeah.
Yeah. The music is super funny. Cause like you'll hear the audio of it is just a little rough. And I think it's supposed to be on purpose. You'll just have to listen to it.
I'm actually very intrigued now. So
yes.
I'll
pull you in. I'll trick you. I'll trick you into watching this movie. But it's really good. And I love all Studio Ghibli's. There's another one. It's Grave of Fireflies. That one will make you want to die inside. Brock,
I watched a little bit of it. I downloaded a whole bunch of those a long time ago, but then I lost the hard drive that had them on it.
No.
Yeah, so
one of the animators on this movie,
Hayao Miyazaki,
was from also later worked on Neon Genesis.
A lot of those people over there, they did have a lot of that cross-pollination with the anime stuff.
Right.
So, and that stuff is like the Studio Ghibli movies. They even, what was it, 3 months ago, were running them in the theater.
They always do every single summer.
Yep.
Well, I guess it's winter now, but every single year they play them.
Yeah. They played, I think it was Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh.
But it wasn't Princess Mononoke. It was another one. It might have been the one you're talking about right now.
Castle in the Sky, Spirited Away.
I think it was Spirited Away. Spirited Away. Yeah.
Spirited Away would be
that makes sense.
Yeah. Because every once in a while, those Fathom events will do those live anime ones, or they'll do like commentary anime ones.
Fathom events is one of the best things to come out
cool.
in a long time.
I know.
It's awesome.
But it's
They
been
do so many cool things.
They've been doing it for like 10 years now.
I thought longer. Wow, 10 years is still a really long time.
Fathom took over, and they started bringing in these anime movies for people to see.
That's so cool.
And they have their one-off events. But at the movie theaters, like the Cinemark, were having their own classic series before that. So that kind of has melded into it, because they play like the operas and shit like that too. But
seeing the different cultures of movies that you would see because of them bringing it over, which would never hit theaters normally.
Correct.
Yeah.
And there's limited times, but if you're a fan, you'll probably see it. You know?
Monday, Wednesdays, unless it's an anniversary. I think, what was it, this month they're actually doing King Kong, where they did last week, I think, the original. So you got to catch them. And I saw those, and I did think of you guys, because I was like, I bet they probably already know.
No, you should tell us. Tell us.
Because it's like literally right across the street from where we work. You can actually go see those movies at 7:00.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I
definitely
mean,
tell us anytime.
Yeah. And generally they have
Tell us things.
Really, every time I've gone to most of the really big ones, they've been completely packed. Like they, like when you get your seat, you got your seat, you know, because everybody's there watching them, because they always see them on TV. You always get to see those Studio Ghibli movies like that on television, and you don't really.
I think
The
Cartoon
experience.
Network
Yeah.
is the first place I ever saw it. Totoro, obviously, is the main one.
Was that like Toonami, or do you remember
shit.
if it was like a subcategory of Cartoon Network?
No, because it must have been through Disney. Let me rephrase, because Disney partners with them to do the voice actors and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I was
it
going to
must
say
have been
that
on
makes
Disney
sense.
Channel.
They're not part of the Viacom.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was through Disney.
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you, Disney.
See, I didn't know it was
some things.
post-apocalyptic. The only
Well,
post-apocalyptic.
Nausicaa for sure, yeah.
Yeah, the only post-apocalyptic anime that I'm really familiar with, of course, is Akira. Akira.
Yes. I had trouble keeping that off my list, actually.
Attack on
I didn't put
Titan?
it on my
Yeah,
list.
I know
But
that
it's a
one.
show.
Yeah.
You could even say Vampire Hunter D
Yeah.
is post-apocalyptic
Yeah.
as well.
Akira was the first one that, really hit the mainstream.
Yeah.
And was it post-apocalyptic?
It was because
it,
World War III had already happened.
And it was July 16th.
And it was Neo Tokyo, so it was New Tokyo rebuilt. Yeah, so it really was.
Yeah.
There was a lot of violence in the streets, and there was minimal law.
That's kind of how Grave of Fireflies was, too, was because of World War II, one. It was after the bombing.
Yeah, okay.
It's
okay.
such a sad movie, man. That one sucks. If you want to hurt and be, crying on the couch, go and watch Grave of Fireflies.
Yeah. I've got a good one to add to
Best
that
trailer.
here in a little bit.
Well, Jazzy was like trying to introduce me to some of these movies, and she's like, "Yeah, it's like Disney and all this," and I was like, "Okay, yeah, so lighthearted, friendly, fun." And she's like, she shows
It's
me
more
something, I'm
like
wow.
the beginning where, like in Up, they can't have kids and then she dies.
God, that slays
that's
me.
like Studio
What
Ghibli.
I think is like
Every fucking time that slays me, I'm like, I love you, honey.
dude, like there's this movie called The Good Dinosaur.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I'm
so sorry.
I'm watching this with her, and then no joke, I'm watching it. I'm like, this is the saddest movie on earth. Why is this like The Good Dinosaur? It looks super cheery. It's like childish, more like, anime. Wow, sad. Wow. But
So,
either way,
I'm
You
gonna.
see his father die right in front of
Disney
you.
did teach me a lot about death because
Yes.
I'll say that I never watched Up.
oh, that's such.
It
a
was
good
really
scene.
good.
And here's why: is because everybody I talk to is like, it's the saddest, and I'm like, why do I want to be sad?
the
such a good
first
though.
5 minutes.
It's like normal sad.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Just like things like life that happens.
Yeah.
And they're just a little bit more honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning, it's like that flash of, this is really sad. But all this great stuff comes after it.
Yeah. Here's the tragedy.
What other movies? Because they do it with like every movie. I just can't think of them.
I think Disney actually has the most movies with deaths in it. No shit.
What?
No way.
No, for real. Think about
you
how
watched
many.
the John
think
Wick
about,
movie?
No. I'm talking about more like bigger death scenes. So you think about all the Disney movies, right?
Like percentage to death.
Yes.
Cinderella.
Yes, Cinderella. You
Belle, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and
Well,
the Beast.
wait.
No, Beauty and the Beast didn't.
He
but like
lives, yeah.
Bambi. Right? No shit.
Yeah,
no
I
shit.
know.
Yeah, Bambi.
Yeah, for
Bambi's
sure.
mom
Yeah.
dies.
Sad.
Which you're getting a
Heavy.
remake of very soon.
Heavy,
Oh,
right?
really?
Yeah.
Why are they gonna
They're probably not going to kill the
Disney.
mom. The
Oh,
mom's
they're
going
going
to
to.
leave.
They're going. They have to. That's the biggest part of the story.
I know. And it's you think about all the deaths that happen in those movies right there. It's like they teach you more about death than Commando would.
There's no recourse in
Correct.
those movies
In animated,
for death.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Their family content and like
Dumbo?
being more real. You
Yeah.
have death. Like
Yeah.
they want that family aspect. They want that closeness bond. to these
Imagine
characters.
being 8 years
know
old
what they're
and watching Dumbo again, and whenever Jumbo leaves,
Yeah.
they take Jumbo
Jumbo?
away. You're like, oh, Dumbo's mom.
Oh,
But they
I
also
forgot the name.
like totally get drunk in that movie too.
Yeah, they have
Which
pink
is great.
elephants, which is the shit. And then just like
Oh yeah, the
that
balloon
and Pinocchio
animals.
are psychedelic.
yeah,
almost.
Pinocchio's
They're
crazy.
creepy.
Yeah.
They like turn into a donkey.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Aren't
that
they?
one
Aren't they
scared
going
me.
to do a live action of Pinocchio as well? I
As long as they
believe?
actually
I think
do it creepily,
I
that'd
think
be cool.
originally, and I could be wrong. Somebody can fact check me, but I believe Benicio del Toro was going to be on board of do Pinocchio at one time.
I mean, he might have been to be
But he's
Geppetto.
always been attached to everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
yeah.
that could have been
know.
like I was attached to that for 5 minutes, and then I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
that,
I collected my $20,000 check just for my name being on this contract.
right.
How many
I
things?
can't unsee it though with Pinocchio, like
Yeah.
the tattoo. Have you seen the tattoo?
The tattoo.
So I know I've exposed Mitch to this, right? So a guy will get a Pinocchio tattoo down by his
down under.
genitals,
Down under.
by a penis.
Oh my god!
And so when you lie, it
Right.
grows, right? So I can't see past that.
That's crazy.
I saw it one time